A lot of the things that I'm going to be going over today, a lot of you probably do. When it comes to out-of-bounds plays, special situations with a couple of seconds to go, there's all kinds of things that you can do. All kinds of things that you can do. The bottom line is we need to get our players to execute. We need to get our players to do exactly what we want them to do. So whatever plays you put in, they will work, whatever it is, if the guys that you're teaching and girls that you're teaching will do it explicitly the way it's taught. From screening to timing to counters to everything. We do run a significant number of out-of-bounds. You know, it's funny. I started out as an assistant, I said to Coach Massimino, and he was a scouting report freak. And unfortunately for me, I am also a scouting report freak. Sometimes I wonder, now here's a question, I wonder how much time I waste showing our team what the other team does. You know, you always fight that. How much should I give them about what the other team does? I've seen teams run 2 out-of-bounds plays and be very good, and I've seen teams run 10 out-of-bounds plays and be good. And then I've seen teams run 2 out-of-bounds plays and not be very good, and team run 10 out-of-bounds plays and not be very good. So it covers the whole end of the spectrum. Our philosophy on special situations, in particular now we're going to start baseline out-of-bounds, sideline out-of-bounds, full court situations with the clock running down. In all of these things, we spend a lot of time dummying this stuff. Now, what we do is, starting when we start practice, October 15th or 14th, whatever that particular Saturday is when we start, we will have 2 practices a day, which I know in high school obviously does not work. And we have staff and we have a lot of other things and I started coaching in high school. I coached in New York City for 5 years at Truman High School in the Bronx. That's where I started. So I know what it's like. I know the frustrations that you face of being by yourself and not having somebody else and assisting a lot of people and things like that. But we spend an hour a day for the first 3 weeks of practice dummying, whether it's 7 o'clock in the morning before class or whatever, and then come back and have our regular practice in the afternoon because I hate dummying during practice. I don't know about you, but I always feel like when you start dummying things during practice, takes a little bit of the zest of practice away. And one of my things is, which as most coaches I'm sure, is you want your guys to play hard the entire time that you practice. So I hate to dummy during practice. We try to do that before, or we will say this is a dummy practice or whatever. We're not worried about the intensity of the practice because I think dummying takes away from that a little bit. So we're going to start first with some out-of-bounds plays. A lot of them you've probably seen before. The good thing, I'll tell you what the most important thing with out-of-bounds plays. That the person who's taking the ball out understands all the options. Sometimes I wonder, 2 years ago we had a freshman point guard, and he took the ball out of bounds. On most of our out-of-bounds plays, our point guard takes the ball out. And he kept throwing the ball to the first guy every time. And naturally, you don't get any of the action that comes after. So I think, first of all, the person who takes the ball out has to be very well versed in what every option is on the out-of-bounds plays. And there is a talent to taking the ball out. Some guys are not good at taking the ball out, and others are. I have definitely seen that. So obviously you want someone who's got the poise to take the ball out of bounds, who understands the game, who understands all the options of the out-of-bounds play, so that you can see the whole thing through. So we'll start first with a very simple out-of-bounds play that I've seen a million teams use. Let's get a 1. You're taking the ball out of bounds. Let me get a 5 here. Doesn't really matter. We're putting a 5. I know it's hard kind of on the court for people to see. 5 here. Let's get a 4 here. 4 here. Let's get a 2 here. And a 3 here. Everybody's facing the basket. And we start everything that we run out of a box set. And we always huddle up. Now, obviously, scouting gets pretty good at the collegiate level, so we always, when the ball goes out of bounds or whatever, we will all huddle up here. And right now, I didn't do this 2 years ago, but I have a point guard that I trust very, very much. I let him call whatever he wants. Unless there's something specific, he'll always look at me, but basically I will let him call whatever he wants. That way there isn't a whole lot of hand signals and things coming from the bench. He knows what we want to do, and we do it now, unless it's, again, something special that we're trying to get. So the first play is what we call our screen the screener play. On the smack of the ball, you're going to turn around on the outside, and again, here's a little thing, but teaching the kid to turn around to the outside to get a good angle. At the same time, our two-man here is going to fake in and pop out off his screen. Okay, so you're going to screen. At that same time, you're going to come and up screen for him here. You're going to go to the basket. You're going to shape up right down the middle. And what I have seen, we'll do that again. Start that again. And what I have seen, when you have an inexperienced guy taking the ball out of bounds, he'll always throw the ball in bounds to this guy here. And really, it's the action of the big men that we want to wait for. Now, this particular play is a good play against man-to-man. Now, you can get the ball. If you're having trouble, you're playing against a team that likes to trap the corners, you can also run this against the zone as long as this guy here pops out here and doesn't pop too far into the corner. Okay, so on the smack of the ball, let's see what happens. Go. Good, and shape up right there. And the most dangerous guy in that particular play is the second guy. We always talk about, with our players, the most dangerous guy. We do a lot of screen-the-screener action. The most dangerous guy on the court is always the screener. We call the screener the forgotten man. If this guy here is a good shooter, we'll start here. This guy's being played like he's a good shooter. Let's get somebody to guard him for a second. And here's what we tell our players, our big guys. If you set a good screen on one of our good shooters, you are going to get open. I'm not telling you to set that screen to free the shooter. I am, but he don't understand that's what I want him to do. I'm trying to make him con him. You can con guys easily. You can get them to screen because they learn that the more screens they set, the more shots they get. We use this sentence a lot. The more screens you set, the more shots you get. The screener is the forgotten man. And I'll show you why he's the forgotten man. Here's a great shooter. Okay? You're going to guard. Now, you know he's a great shooter, and you know from the scouting report that he's a great shooter. We also tell our guys that on their screens, we want a wide base. We want them to, and this is just for discipline purposes. Is it a big deal? No. We want them to hold their left wrist when they set a screen to protect themselves. Get a nice wide base. What good is a screen like this? We want a nice wide base, hold that left wrist, and get ready to take one in the chest. So, we tell our man here, say, listen, if you get him open, you are going to be open. So let's see what happens here. You're going to go, let's get the good time. You're going to take your man in, and then pop out. Okay, go ahead. Stop, hold. Now, by the scout, well, you don't have, there's nobody else there. By the scouting report, though, start again. If this guy's a great three-point shooter, and your coach told you that guy's a great three-point shooter, when this screen comes, come and set that screen, and you see your man get beat by a little bit, what are you going to do? You're going to show a little bit. You're going to show. And that's why he's the forgotten man. Everybody always worries about the cutter. The cutter, everybody, when you watch a game, what do you see everybody do? Start again. I'm guarding him. He goes to screen, and both of us are saying, screen right, screen right, screen right. Oh, and we forget about this guy. Everybody is concerned about the cutter. That's why we call the screener the forgotten man. That's why, and we run motion. We run a motion offense. And that's how we get our players to screen. We tell them, you want to get a shot? Screen more. And they look at you, especially when they first come to you, they look at you like you're nuts. Yes, you want a shot? No, not us screen for you. You screen more for other people, and you'll get more shots. Because the more you screen, the more you're going to be forgotten by your man. The more you're forgotten by your man, the more open you're going to be. So, let's see what happens here. Now, you know the play, right? You know all the options. We got option 1, then we got option 2, we got 3 really big options here, and you, I know you're just standing around, you're the outlet. We tell all these guys, you know what happens too? You see teams that really deny out-of-bounds plays well? Isn't invariably, always happens, everybody will make their move, and if I'm denied, I stand. Instead of continuing to get open. So you got to teach them that, yes, we run the play. If you're not open, you got to keep trying to get open so we can get the ball in bounds. So we don't end up with a 5-second violation. Okay, let's get 2 more guys to guard these 2 guys here. Let's see what happens. Go. Roll back. Oh! Hold. You had him. When you set that back screen, you had him here. But what happened was, because you didn't use the right footwork, he was able to get around you. If you used the proper footwork, you would have kept him on your back and going right to the basket, had a layup. Do that one more time. Screen the screener. Go. Pin him now. Low roll back. That's better. Now, let's face it. Okay, hold up. If you could get the ball to one of your big guys 4 feet from the basket like that, you got yourself a heck of an opportunity to score. So that's an example of what we call a screen the screener out of bounds play. This play here is kind of a weird play, but we have found it to be very, very effective, especially when people use their counters. Now, every out of bounds play gets scouted. And in every out of bounds play, people probably have an opportunity to switch certain screens. But as always, when people switch screens, there are counters you can use that you need to teach the kids, which is how to read when somebody's switching on you. So when somebody's switching a screen, you got to run check moves in order to counter what the defenders are trying to do. Okay, here's kind of a weird play, and here's how it works. Let's switch spots. I'd like the 5 more there and the 4 more here. Okay? And here's how it goes. You are going to back up. You're starting here. You're going to back up with your arms in the air looking for the ball. Okay? You are going to duck in like a son of a gun. I mean, you're going to really try and get the ball here hard, ducking in. And at the same time when that happens, you're going to set a screen here, and you're going to go right to the basket, okay? And then you're going to set a little screen for this guy here, and he's going to pop out, okay? Let's do that again. Let's see. We'll just walk through that. Go. Right? Remember, important thing, you got to yell for the ball. And you got to yell for the ball. You got to really, I mean, we might throw it to you. I mean, if we could throw you the ball on this, we're going to throw you the ball. Okay. Go. And what you have to do is, I'm sorry, I should have made it more. After you come here and you don't get the ball, come all the way across. Okay? Do that again. We used to get this with Kittles notice I used a pretty good name. He used to get this all the time. Okay, go ahead. Go. Okay, and now what do you have? You have a lot of options here. Let's go over it again from the beginning. He is strictly a decoy, this first guy. Now, could you throw the ball up in the air? This guy, yeah, he's running backwards. I don't know how great. In all these years we've been running this play, we've never thrown it to that guy. Never. Okay, so he's a decoy, but he's got to really, hey, because that'll take, again, you could use this man or zone, because that'll take this guy with him up the lane. He ducks in really, really hard looking for that ball. And it leaves this side completely open. Now, obviously, if these 2 guys switch, that could stop it. But that's when you run what we call a check move. We run a check move. All right, let's walk through it again. So we got option 1, the man backing up. We'll walk through it. Option 2, a hard duck in here by 5. Option 3, the layup, and he did a good job. You just did something very important. You took your man away from where you wanted to go. We always tell our guys, always go away from where it is you want to go. Start out opposite from where it is you're going to go. You're going to go that way? Start there first. All it takes is that little half step of taking your man this way that's going to give you enough space and get you open here for a layup. All right, so we'll go through all the options one more time. He backs up hard. He ducks in hard. He comes hard for the layup. And last option, we got a good shooter coming off another screen. He set a screen. We screen the screener. Again, he comes out looking for the shot. All right, we'll do it one more time, and then we'll get some defense out here and see what happens. Go. All right, maybe the timing, you guys, the guy here has to, as soon as that guy ducks in hard, then we got to be going. Okay? Let's try it one more time. Go. That's better. Okay. We turn the ball over and nobody guarding us. You know what we do? I'll tell you what we do in practice. One thing that drives me absolutely insane is when you dummy, they turn the ball over. Does that happen to you? That you guys are running through plays with nobody guarding them and they throw the ball away. Nothing drives me nuts more than turning the ball over when nobody's guarding us. When that happens, we run suicides. I tell you what, them suicides work. I'm telling you. If you want to change behavior, suicide is a terrific way to do it. I'm telling you. Don't you think, guys? Now, you think you're going to throw that ball away again? Now, when we dummy, we don't turn the ball over. It's hard enough. We turn the ball over enough when other guys are guarding us. When we're dummying plays, we can't turn the ball over. Please. Go. All right, let's see what happens. Let's get some defenders. And then we'll let you guys play a little offense. I don't want you guys just playing defense. Oh, okay, that was good. Take it out again. Now, if we're playing against a team, in general, now you may say to yourself, gee, that screen from 2 to 3, or 1 to 3, or 3 to 1, or 2 to 1, that's not really a great screen because teams will switch that. And if we were playing against this play, we would switch it too. And that's where the reads come in. That's when you know how to run out of bounds plays. It's easy to run the out of bounds play when you say, I'm supposed to go here, you're supposed to go there. Now you can run out of bounds play when you use your reads. Now these two guys are going to switch. Okay? We always tell our guys too, when we switch on defense, we want the two defenders to touch. We don't want them making what we call a lazy switch. We want them to come together and run a good switch. Now, again, when teams switch, the most dangerous guy on the court is, again, the screener. We run what we would call a slip screen, okay? All right, so we're going to do the same thing now, except I want to see you two guys switch this screen there. Let me see what you guys will do. You know they're going to switch. Let me see what you're going to do. Go ahead. Not bad. Now, if you had done that, hold it, that was pretty good. If you'd have come a little quick, now what did they do? They ran a check move. He made like he was going to screen this guy here, and instead of screening, if he'd have just reverse pivoted and came right down the lane, he'd had a layup, and then you pop out. Now, this is a read that the kid's got to make in the game. Or we may tell them, hey, let's run the two-play with a check move. Two-play with a check move because we think the other team is going to switch that screen. And that way, you got to make yourself harder to guard. That is making you harder to guard if you use a check move on a switch. Okay, let's see those two guys. You guys are going to switch. I want you to run this really hard now. Everything we run hard. Not bad. Oh, okay, you know, now here's where my man taking the ball out of bounds has to know that probably our best option in this play is the guy coming in for the layup. Next play. These two guys, now this could be, doesn't necessarily have to be the 2 and 3. I would make this the two best shooters. This should be the two best shooters on this side of the floor. Okay? Here's how it runs. Smack of the ball. We start with an up screen here. Okay? You to the basket. You guys are going to come together and set a double screen for me. We always tell the bottom guy, he's the slip guy. If I'm guarding you, and he's a great shooter, and now you guys set a good double screen, pop out, you are slipping to the basket. There is the philosophy again of the better screens I set, the more shots I get. Okay, let's do that again. So really, it's a very simple play, But when run properly, I can't believe how often we are able to get this, especially since you've got, again, 3 options. You got option 1, the screen. A lot of times teams will switch this. That's okay. You got the guy coming off, the great shooter coming off the double screen. And then you have the big man who said a great double screen is the bottom guy is slipping to the basket right away. I will tell you this. Over the years, when I think, the one thing that I've learned a lot. Every year, I learned something different. And in the last 2 years, and it doesn't show, like I said, because we haven't really won a lot, I have come to appreciate more and more and more the slip screen. The screener slipping to the basket on a good solid screen. And I'll tell you what, it's a great reinforcement for the players because they see when they set good screens, they can make layups. That they get baskets when they set a good screen. Up screen there, layup. Double screen, slip to the basket. Okay? Now, just like we talked about before, a lot of times this will be a switch. 2 perimeter guys, 2 and 3, they'll decide to switch it. Same thing holds. I fake the up screen, you go, I come back to the ball. Though if you learn your counters, they cannot effectively switch that and stop you. And remember, these 2 guys you hope are interchangeable. You hope they're both good 3-point shooters, which obviously helps, especially on the check move. Now, if they're not, then you can still line it up differently. One time put the 3-point shooter there, one time put the 3-point shooter there, and run it accordingly. But if you got 2 guys here that can make threes, they can do either one. And what we tell our guys, they can call the check move. Doesn't have to be called from the bench. I hope that we've been able to make them realize what plays that we run are switchable. This is a switchable play, there's no doubt. But still, when run correctly, you get what you want, and that slip in the end is a big key. All right, let's get 5 guys with black shirts to guard these guys. Go. Oh, we got it. Run it back. Okay. Go. Slip. Okay. One more time. Let's see you guys switch now. Oh, there he is. They messed up the switch. Okay? All right, you guys can sit. That was 3 out of bounds plays, correct? We ran the screen, the screener. We ran the play for the backup and the cut, and then the jump shot play there. So you got 3 out of bounds plays there. All a little different, but kind of along the same lines. Teaching slips, teaching check moves, teaching the different things that are going to help you have effective offense on any kind of plays. Any kind of plays. All 3 of those plays more man-to-man oriented than zone. But really can be run against the zone also, much more difficult. Like if you got to teach your kids who it is they need to be screening when you run these things against the zone. Whether it's supposed to be screening the top guy, the back guy, the middle guy. So it does become more complicated. And a lot of teams do, even though it's changed. Teams used to play all zone on baseline out-of-bounds plays. I think more and more teams are playing man-to-man on baseline out-of-bounds plays than ever before. Here's another play that's a very good play against man-to-man. That has a lot of action to it and is a very good play for a really good shooter. If you have a really good shooter, it's a great play. And let me get the best shooter, 2-man, right here. Okay? Let's get the 2 big guys on the boxes. And the other perimeter guy here. Okay? And here's how this play works. On the smack of the ball, you're going to run way out here. Kind of off you're going to brush. If you have to brush this guy, you're going to brush him. You're going to run off his screen. And you're going to run to the corner. You are going to now cheat to the box. Go to the box. And you know what? We have gotten that. We have actually gotten, by mistake, a couple of times, That's not supposed to happen, and it can happen in a game. If you run this bang, bang, you could get that in a game, this guy running down the middle and getting a layup. So let's start that from the beginning again. And it's got to be fast, guys. When you smack that ball, everybody's got to go full speed. And that's the other thing. When you dummy full speed. That's another thing that drives me nuts. And it happens, there's no doubt. They start to go half speed when they're dummying. Can't allow that. Dummying has to be done full speed, without question. And now to the blocks. Okay, right? Now that's not what we're looking for, but if we obviously stay where you are. Stay where you are, you stay here. If you have to throw it to the corner first, that's fine. Reverse it. Reverse it. You're going to run out here. No, not you. You're going to stay there. Guy taking the ball out of bounds is going to run out. What do we have? We have a great backdoor opportunity here. And we get this. When that point guard runs out, his man, a lot of the side is completely clear. The guy guarding him runs out to deny it, and he back cuts to the basket. Okay? So let's do that again. Let's start from the beginning again. Go. Reverse it, hit, backdoor. Okay, we don't have it. All right, that's fine. So now we got a couple of options. We got an option of a guy diving down the lane. We got the option of our point guard back cutting to the basket. And now the last option, which is really what the play is designed for. Okay? So here's what I want now. When you get the ball here, you're going to backdoor. You're going to hold the ball, though. You're not going to throw it to him. Okay? All right? Go. Reverse it. Stop. Backdoor. Now you two are going to come and set him a nice double screen. Right here. And you're coming out there for the shot. Okay? Let's do that again. And always the second screener, the bottom screener, the guy closest to the basket, is always slipping to the basket. Go. Slip. Oh. Okay. That play, I can't tell you how often we're able to get the shot on that. You got to make sure you slip. The guy who was closest to the basket is the guy who's got to slip. I think you guys did it the opposite way. Okay, one more time. What are your problems on this? The main problem that we've had when I first took over at UMass, see, we run all motion. And the kids that I inherited were used to running all set plays. I don't mind. Like you may look at it and say, gee, the five-man's got to make the pass. Well, one of the things that you can flip-flop is you can flip-flop these two. But really, if you're going to run motion, he's got to pass the ball. And what I've learned over the years is you may say to yourself, well, our big guys aren't good passers, so I can't run motion. But really, if you run motion and they're passing and catching 200-300, think about a practice. Think about a practice. If you're running five-man motion and your center has to catch and pass 300 times a practice problem, he's got to get better. He's got to become better at passing the ball and more comfortable. When we first did this and we had our big guys out, I'm sure everybody in the stands, well, they got their center passing the ball. What is he doing out there? You know, that's what happens when you don't win either. Everything becomes, but if you have a good motion program like we want to be and we're going to be, your big guys can't be afraid to make that pass. And I can't tell you how many times my first year, the guy who caught this pass to either throw the back door or throw this guy off the double screen would throw this pass and they'd steal it and go in for a layup. But we've gotten better, we've learned, and now it's become much more effective. But if you like it better, let's put the 5 there and the 4 there. If 4's a better ball handler, we'll keep 5 just having to make that one pass. Now he doesn't have to make the backdoor pass and the pass off the double screen. Okay? All right, let's run it live. Go. Oh, start again. Okay, it's got right on that smack. You got to go. Everything's got to be bang, bang. In other words, you guys should all be going at once. As soon as he crosses in front of you, as soon as he goes here, you're down the lane. So you 3 guys are all moving at once. You're waiting till he crosses in front of you. Okay, now one of the things that you're going to have to do that you're probably going to have to do in a game is, give the ball, the guy who catches it here, you're probably going to have a dribble, make a dribble. Whether it's this way for the back door or towards here, you got to shorten up that pass a little bit. Okay? All right, let's get 5 guys to guard him. Go! Back door. Good. Slip. Very good. That was a good job, guys. Very good. Run it back again. Let's try one more time. So we got, think of this. And that's, I mean, I like plays that have a lot of different things that could happen. We got the dive for a layup. We have the backdoor cut. We've got the double screen. We've got the slip in the end by the double screener to the basket. So you got 4 things in this play with a lot of movement. A backdoor cut, which we like because we run a lot of motion. So it kind of fits into our philosophy of the things that we like to do. Back door! Okay, you don't ever want to kill your dribble that fast, but that's okay. Again, that's one of our favorite things. You can do it against the zone. You must screen. The double screen has to be on the top. If you're playing against a 2-3 zone, the double screen has to happen on this guard here. The top guy of the zone is the guy that you have to double screen in that particular play. Now, a couple of things that are effective against the zone. 5, 4. 5, 4. And best shooter. Let's have 1 take it out. 2 can take it out on this play. And you're up here. This should be our, if that's 1, now normally we'll make that 2. Are you 2 or 1? All right, well, you come here for this. Let's just say you're the 1 man. We're going to put you here. We'll put the 2, take it out. Best shooter takes the ball out of bounds. We call this play special same. This is a play for man or zone. Okay? The way it starts, we're going to assume we're playing against a zone right now. You're coming in, you're going to screen the middle man of the zone. We'll do it as man-to-man first, and then we'll explain it as zone. You're going to go screen across. You're going to pop all the way out to the corner. And you're going to, as always, after you set a good screen, we always shape up. We always screen and shape up back to the ball. You, at the same time, are going to flare out to the corner. Exactly. So now here's what you got so far. You've got our man screening and ducking in. You got this guy here who, if they're falling asleep, especially when it's a zone, they could fall asleep watching everything go on in here because there's a lot of screening action. This guy could be wide open in the corner. Okay? You, in the meantime, are going to fake in and pop out. Now, the one thing I should have told you about the last play that we ran is, if you noticed, the young man kept throwing the ball into the corner. We could have entered the ball out here, too, and not throw it into the corner to start. It would be the same thing, obviously, and the timing would be a little quicker. We would prefer, I should have shown you that, we would prefer to enter that ball in that last play there, and then the play is much more boom, boom, rather than here, there, there. Now it's 3 passes. We'd rather throw it to this guy, and most of the time you can throw it to that guy. Same thing in this case, okay? You're going to fake in, and you're going to pop out. Now, if we have to throw it here, we'll throw it there, but we'd like to get it there. As soon as that ball goes there, you are ducking in hard here. You are taking a hard dribble to the middle of the floor. You are going to screen in for him. You're going to fake in, and you're going to pop out here, and you're going to slip. Again, always slipping after the screen to the basket. Okay? And this guy's a good shooter, so he's going to be open for the shot there. So let's do that again. Go. Okay, you got to watch. You're ducking, but you don't want to end up on that side of the floor. You want to kind of duck in here, and that's it, and not get in his way, okay? Start again. And we call that special same. And here's what we have there. We got a screen to duck in. We have a man flaring out to the deep corner. We have a down screen for a great shooter. Big key. This guy has to hard dribble to the middle of the floor to throw that misdirection pass. This should be a misdirection, which means he's coming in this direction and throwing against the grain the other way. Plus, If you only come to here with the ball, you're not going to be able to hit that guy there. So this guy here has to, it could be even two hard dribbles to the middle of the floor and then throw back, and you got the man flaring to the corner. And then if you set a good screen, and he's a great shooter, and I'm guarding you, and he's open, and I do this, you go to the basket. Okay? Let's do that one more time. Okay, always this. Always this. Always screen, not post up, slip. Step to the basket. Okay? In other words, you screened, and then you did this. I want to see you screen this guy and then look for the ball here. Okay? Do it one more time. Okay? Go. Good. That's it. Now, as a counter to that play, we run, get in your spots again, White. We have what we call opposite. In this play, instead of him running out this way, he's going to run out opposite. So everything is the same, but he's going to run out opposite, and we're going to get a misdirection off a double screen coming out this way. Matter of fact, black shirts go off because it's much easier to show everybody like this. Okay? Do everything the same to start. Go. Whoa, you got to be out there. Okay, now you're going to throw here or out there, either one, that way. You're going to go out opposite. Now you're going to, listen to me, you and him are going to set a good double screen. Come in the screen, come off that way now, and you come in here, are going to screen for him coming out this way. So now we got the 3 and the 2 crossing. We got the 2-man coming out opposite before we went same. He goes opposite. The 3-man who was in that corner now misdirects, as we call it, to this side. So now you're coming off a double screen. You're going to come in here and single screen for him coming the other way. Now you get to the block. Get to the block. Up. Don't give up your dribble. Okay, run it back. Don't give up your dribble. Keep your dribble alive until you know where you're going to deliver the ball. Go. Okay? 2 options there. We call that opposite. All right, let's run through that one time with a defense. Let's go. Go. Misdirection. Woo, hold, stop it. Look how open he was. I will tell you this. Most of the time, the open man is going to be the misdirection guy. Because you know why? What did that misdirection guy do first? He was a screener. Exactly. That's why he's going to be the most open guy, is the misdirection guy, because he was a screener. Go. Here he comes. Good. Okay. All right. Who can catch a lob here? Who's the lob? You're the lob catcher? Okay. Let's get the 1-man, take it out. Lob catcher up there. Big here. Big here. You're there. Okay? Here's what we're going to do. You're going to screen. You're going to pop all the way out to the corner. You're going to duck right back in like this hard, but to the ball. Okay? You're going to throw it in there. Throw it in there, and you're going to come here, and you're going to set your man up wide, and we're going to set a nice back screen up to the rim, and you're going to make that pass. Okay? Oh, I'm sorry. There's something I forgot here. Do that again. And you. Okay, no. Start again. I got it wrong. You're going to fake in and pop out. You're going to stay here. You're going to fake in, pop all the way out to the corner. Hit. Pop out. Hit. Duck in here. Back screen there. Okay? Do it again. Not bad. Okay, and the ducking guy is very important because it's when they see him ducking in that these guys tend to turn their heads. And that's what you need. You need this guy to turn his head. The guy guarding here should be turning his head a little bit. That's when he gets back screened and you throw it up to the rim. So that's just an example of some of the baseline OBs that we use. I want to get to a couple of sideline things now. Very simple, but a very, very important play for us over the years. Very simple. We call it 4 to get it in. Teams are pressing you at the end of the game. You want to get the ball to your best foul shooters. They're pressing you. You're taking the ball on the side. This is a side out of bounds play. Could be anywhere. In the back court, the front court, mid court. Could be anywhere. We call it 4 to get it in. Let's get the two-man taking the ball out of bounds. Here. Let me get the 5 here. 4 behind them. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 4 first, 3 second. 4 first, 3 second. You're third. Now, this you could change this and make this any way you want, and you're here. You could do this any way you want. Team is pressing you. You want to make sure you get the ball in bounds. This is a good way to get the ball in bounds. On the smack of the ball, you're running whichever way you want, but you got to go deep. Either deep that way, let's say we're going that way. You can go that way or that way. Whichever way he goes, you're going opposite. Okay? But you got to go far, and you got to go fast. And then after they split, you're going to screen for our point guard here because we want to get him the ball, and then you're going to roll back opposite. Okay? All right. Go. Good. And that, again, is just to get the ball in bounds. We call it 4 to get it in. Do it one more time. Go. And step back. Good. And always shaping up to the ball. Because remember, this team is pressing us. They don't want us to get the ball in bounds again. Now, if he's not a good foul shooter, and you'd rather have, because a lot of times, again, the screener, that's the guy who's going to be open. It's nice if you got a big kid that can make foul shots. If you don't, it really does need to be one of your bigger kids because you don't want them to switch that screen. You would rather not allow the other team to switch that screen. But the idea is to get the ball in bounds to your point guard. Next play for a three-point shot on the side. Let's get the one-man, take it out. Let me get the 5-man here. The 4-man here. The 4-man here with the 3-man. 4 and 3 here, 2 here. Okay, we need a three-point shot from the sideline. End of the game. Couple of different options. You're going to stand here like this. You're going to be screening. You're going to be screening for this. Now, you have a choice. You guys are going to set a double screen for him. You're going to go get him. Now, there's a choice. You can either use that double screen and come out that way, or you can use my single screen and come out this way. You, as the other shooter, are going to do the opposite. If he runs off the double, you're coming off the single here. If he runs off the single, you're backing out that way to the three-point line. Okay? So this is a play. You guys start back here. You want your 2-man there, your 3-man on the inside here, 5 and 4. Go. Oh! No. Aren't you? Who's the other? I'm sorry, you're the other shooter. My mistake. Started to do it again. So it's the 2 shooters. 1 shooter comes off the double, 1 shooter comes off the single. Go. Good. Okay, we're looking, and it doesn't have to be a 3, but we use this play to get a 3-point shot. Take it out again. Now let's go the other way. I also left out the most important part of this play. The most important part of this play is the guy taking the ball out of bounds. If there's 5 seconds to go in the game and you need a 3, I would say most of the time, these guys aren't going to be open. But the guy who's going to be open is the guy taking the ball out of bounds when he steps back in. So we always, when we dummy this play, we always hit the passer stepping back in for 3. That's the guy that's going to be forgotten, and that's the guy who's going to be open. And that's what you'll get more often than not. All right, let's see what happens. Get a defense out here quick. Okay, hey, we'll take that shot. Down 3 with 5 seconds to go. We'll take that one any day. Okay, let's go one more time. Go. Oh. Okay. All right, one more on the side. Let's let the black shirts stay up here now. We use this play all the time to get the ball inside. It's a great play to get the ball inside against a man-to-man defense. 5 man's right here on the box. Best shooter here. 2 man here. You guys are here. Right there. Let's get the, what number are you? You're 3. So why, and you're 4? You're over here 3. Right there, okay? Here's what we're doing first. Most important part of the play, you're setting you're going to go under the rim and bury his man. And you're going to go right under the rim. And you're going to come off that screen down the baseline. Now, he's a great shooter. Now, you may even be open right away from the side. As soon as you set that screen, we may be able to hit you right from the sideline. Obviously, if we're in this part and we're not up that far, we may be able to throw it right to you, okay? At the same time, you are screening for him. You're going to pop out. No, I'm sorry. You're starting here. Start out here. You're going to pop to the inside. You're going to pop. So let's get a little more spacing here, like that. Okay? Start over there. Start from the beginning again. Okay? All right, go. You're going to go to the inside. Now, if we hit him, first of all, our first option is to throw it. I'm sorry, start again from the beginning. Here's the first option. First option is right to the box. Second option is to the corner, to the box. Because you're going to be down there by yourself. And you should have good position, especially if we're playing against man-to-man. If he's a real good shooter, your man might even help a little bit, so that should allow you to get a little bit more open. Okay, go ahead, go. So option, no, you got to come to the ball. Don't go away. Come to the ball. Okay, right here, and then right inside. Now, if we don't have that, we throw it here. You're setting a back screen for this guy, and you're flaring over the top. So now we got inside, and we got flare over the top. Okay? Let's start again. Go. Corner. Set the flare screen. Hit it. Okay? Side out of bounds. So some full court situations. Let's give you the first one here. We have a play we call cats. We run it 2 different ways. One way is to get the ball to half court and call timeout. The other way is to get the ball, you don't have any timeouts left, there's 3 seconds to go, you're down, because I'll tell you what, I know me. How many like to, with score tied? Score tied, 3 seconds to go, 2 seconds to go, throw that pass to half court. Boy, I struggle with that one. I had a game, we're playing Georgetown in the First Union Center. We're down 4 with 5 seconds to go. We come the length of the court, throw it to the corner, kid makes a 3. 2 seconds to go in the game, for some reason, they were ahead. They threw a pass, instead of just throwing it in bounds here, they threw a pass out to half court, and one of our kids stole it and shot it from here, and we scored 6 points in like 4 seconds and ended up winning the game. So I know I would have difficulty score tie. I may just say, get the ball in bounds and we'll go to overtime or whatever. So it depends on what your personality is when it comes to that. Okay, so let's do this first. There is now 3 seconds to go in the game. And I'll tell you what we spend a lot of time on in special situations. Every pass, every bounce, and every dribble is 1 second. Kids do not understand what 3 seconds is, or 4 seconds is. It's a lot of time. And we tell them, if there's 3 seconds to go in the game, that's time for you to bounce it, pass it, and somebody to shoot it. So don't think with 3 seconds to go, as soon as we throw it to you, you got to shoot it. Every one of those things takes 1 second. The dribble, 2 dribbles, shot. 1 dribble, pass, shot. All are 1 second. So we put the time on the clock. We'll put 3 seconds on the clock, and they get to learn about how long 3 seconds is. And it really is a long time. Okay, here's what I want. We're going to get the ball to half court and call timeout. Let me get our 5 man here. 5 there. 4 here. 3 there. Okay? 2 man takes it out. You don't have to do it that way. You can have a bigger guy take it out. You can do whatever. Point guard here. There is now 3 seconds to go in the game. The guy move down a little bit more. 3 seconds to go in the game. We want to get the ball to half court and call timeout. Okay? We call this our screen the screen, or we call it cats with a timeout left. Your job is basically to just get open here in the backcourt, but deeper. I want you to start here. We'd like to get the ball in bounds to you deeper. Okay? But safety-wise, again, would you do this if it's tied, or would you only do this if you're down 1 or 2 or 3? That's up to you. Okay? But we've used this a lot, and it's been very effective to get the ball to half court and call timeout. So on the smack of the ball, you're going to set a screen for the big man. Big man's going to run to the rim. Okay, go. At the same time, you're going to run here and screen for him. And then, you're going to run there, and you're going to shape up back to the ball. You're going to throw it to one of us. And we're going to yell, and the whole team is going to say, timeout. Okay, let's do that again. Don't get in the way down here. You can start here and then just circle out. Okay? Don't get on that side. All right? Go! Okay. So that's a way to get the ball to half court, call a quick timeout. Now, take it out again. Now we're going to do a little different. Now there's no timeouts left. There's 2 seconds to go in the game. 3 seconds to go in the game. Not 1. If there's 1 second to go, it's got to go further. Say there's 3 seconds to go in the game. We have no timeouts left. Now we set it up different. We also would set it up different if we could move. In this case, we had him take the ball out of bounds and he couldn't move. If he could move, we would have him start here so he could run the baseline and throw to his strong hand. Okay, now we're going to do a little different. 1 and 2, come here, I need you. 3-man, you take it out, or 4-man. Even with 4-man, you take it out. You're down there. Okay? You're over there. No, big guy's over there. I'm sorry, big guy over there. You're here. Get to the top of the key. I'm sorry, who's the 3? You're here. You're there. Okay? So now we get our 2 best players off the dribble. Usually our 1 and 2 are our 2 best players off the dribble in those positions. Because now there's 3 seconds to go. 3 seconds to go in the game. We got no timeouts left. That ball's got to go to half court. We got to go. Okay? So you guys are going to do the same thing. You're going to up screen for him. You're going to screen across and come to the ball. You guys are then going to go. You got time for a catch, 1 dribble, a pass, shot. You got time for all that. Okay? If we had a clock, you would see. All right? Go. Go. No question that could be done. And then you are just running your head off. If there's a chance for a tip-in with that much time, a lot of times there isn't. If there's any kind of chance, you got to go for it. Okay? No timeouts left. Go! So there you have 2 plays, similar plays. 1, to call timeout at half court. 1, we have no timeouts left. That's what we got to do. Next play. Complete prayer. You're in trouble. This is like 1 second to go. You're down. We call this our triple screen. Let's get the 4-man take it out. Get a bigger guy taking the ball. Let's get the big man here. Let's get the point guard in the middle of the lane. Another guy, 2 or 3 here on the other side. 1 second to go in the game. Obviously, we're in big trouble. We have to throw a length of the court pass. Here's what we do. You 3 guys are going to screen for him at the same time. And you're all going to break out in different directions. But we want to have each area covered. I don't care where you go, but one guy's got to be there, one guy's got to be there, and it doesn't matter which corner. And then you, after you screen, you're going to screen. You got to stay out of the middle. That's the only thing. You're going to come back hard to the ball here. And we have time. You may have time to tip the ball to somebody for a shot with 1 second to go. Certainly with 2 seconds to go, you do. Or you throw it directly to one of these guys with 1 second to go and they take a shot. Okay? All right, let's see what happens. We call this triple. Go! If you win 1 game in your career like this, down 2 with 1 second to go, got to go the length of the court. What happened it's a long time ago, in 1990 with, I don't know if you remember, you got Tate George in that corner for Connecticut. They threw the length of the court against Clemson, and he hit that basket from the corner in the Meadowlands. You see it in classic sports all the time. So it does happen. And really, if you win one game, it was worth as many times as you dummied it over the years. I'll take it. Just one time. We call this our foul line break. Let's get, the other team is shooting a foul shot. So let's get our 4 and 5 men on the inside. 4 and 5 men on the inside. Let's get our point guard here. 2 and 3 down here. Come here. You're here like foul line extended, and you're on the foul line extended. Throw the ball on it. Okay? Here's what we're going to do. The other team is shooting a foul shot. We're down 5 points. 20 seconds to go. So we want to get off a quick 3. It's a good way to get off a quick 3 when the other team is shooting a foul shot. So let's say he makes it. He makes it. 5-man takes the ball out. Okay? You get it into the point guard. If he takes it out on this side of the basket, you're running that way. Okay? You get it in. We'd like to throw a little longer pass, maybe foul line extended. Do it again. A foul line extended pass, save a little time. Okay, guy makes a foul shot. Go ahead, take it out. Hit. Now, as soon as he catches it, you are going to screen across for him. You're going to go all the way out there, and as soon as you screen, you're back here to the ball, and you're running the floor like a son of a gun. And we have gotten plenty of threes off this particular thing. Let's do that again. And obviously, if he takes it on the other side, you'd be running it that way, and you would screen across, depending on which side the ball comes. Okay, ball goes in. Here we go. Go. Come back up the middle. Be prepared for any situation that could arise. I have always tried to not diagram something in a stressful situation like the end of a game where you need a basket. They don't see it. So the repetition, practicing it, and now being able to say, okay, guys, and what we'll do is in the middle of practice, we may just run one of these things live. Thanks very much, guys. You guys did a great job. They really picked up a lot of things quickly. I don't think some of those things they may have done already, but they certainly did a great job picking it up. But the execution is the big thing. The repetition is the big thing, and being prepared so that you're ready to react to those situations is always very, very important.